Senator Cash.
Mr Deputy President, when Labor senators on the other side throw around statistics, they need to be very, very careful, because statistics don't lie. Mr McClelland was asked in the Parliament on the 11th of June, how many children does the Labor Party currently have in detention behind bars? And do you know what the answer was? Was it higher than the 21 that were in detention when we left office in 2007? Yes, it was. The answer was this. Currently, because the figure may change by the time I get back to my office, the Labor Party have 528 children behind bars. That is a complete failure of their border protection policies. Mr Deputy President, but despite their protestations, despite the hysterics coming from the other side, despite what they say are very tough words, the Labor Party do not have the moral ground when it comes to border protection. That is owned by the coalition, let me assure you. Under the soft approach employed by Mr Rudd, when it comes to border protection, over 6,300 people have now risked their lives trying to get to this country. There is nothing humanitarian about implementing policies that encourage people, women and children, to risk their lives to come to this country. Mr President, Mr Acting Deputy President, the Labor Party, Mr Deputy President, I'll get it right. This is what the Labor Party don't want to tell the people of Australia. This is what they are afraid the people of Australia may find out. That actually under the coalition government, Australia has a very strong and a very proud history of refugee resettlement. When the last coalition government was in power, do you know how many refugees we actually resettled in Australia? We resettled in excess of 100,000 refugees. And when we get back into government shortly, we will continue as a government to be committed to support Australia's generous intake of refugees. But unlike the Labor Party, the major difference between us and those on the other side is that we actually believe, for the betterment of this country, for the safety of women and children and families who may well seek to put their lives at risk, we believe in a fair and in an orderly immigration process in coming to this country. What Mr Rudd again forgets to tell the people of Australia is that for every place that a refugee is given, and every place that is given to a refugee who has come here unlawfully, we have to say to those refugees who have done the right thing, I'm sorry, mate, but someone else who did the wrong thing has actually taken your place in Australia. The coalition government is very, very proud to stand by its commitment that priority should be given to those offshore, those who have done the right thing. Because the reality is, Mr Deputy President, those who are in the United Nations refugee camps, they don't have $10,000 They don't have $15,000 They don't have $20,000 to pay to people smugglers who, let's recall, Mr Rudd did recall saying as were the vilest form of human life. They don't have that money. They have nothing. And they seek to do the right thing in coming to this country. Mr Rudd and the Labor Party are only interested in scoring cheap political points to deflect from their gross failure in relation to border protection. There is no doubt that the votes will keep coming unless we elect a coalition government.